like just hearing about other people's struggles and wins.
Yeah.
It shows like we're all human. At the same time, we all are working towards a better version of ourselves, and like just hearing people's like perspective around things helps me level up massively and closer, just bring myself closer to people as well.
Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of the TPM Show. And we are still at the TPM Ranch if you listened to the previous episode. And we are still at the Legends event, and it is going strong, having a great time. And today I have two legends with me right now, and we're going to talk about camaraderie. Gentlemen, having a good time?
Amazing.
Yes, we are, for sure. It's only day one.
It's only day one.
It's only day one. We got 2 more days.
Yes, this has been a phenomenal event. Just absolute amazing men, the two of you included. We wanted to record some of these thoughts and things that we're going through. And we haven't gotten to the meat of this event at all, right? Mm-hmm. We're at the appetizer, if anything. And I'm having a great time. You know, it fills me up to be around such amazing men such as yourself and the other guys next door. So to have a guy from the UK, a guy from New York sitting right next to each other in Oregon, right?
Yeah,
of all places.
Yeah.
When I asked you guys, hey, what do you want to talk about? And you threw out on the table camaraderie.
Yeah.
So what does camaraderie mean to you?
I think I said it on day 0 when we first got here. You know, we were just talking about intention and what I want to get out. The minute I got into this, I walked into the ranch. Just the energy shift within me, right? The day-to-day, right? The grind, building a business, managing a team, right? Making money, being a parent, CFO, husband. It's a lot, right? I mean, we talk about filling our cup and making sure that that's a priority. And yes, of course, that's important. But when I'm together with men that are like-minded, and up until yesterday, I didn't even know who Mike was, but the level of, I guess, the quality of men that we have around here, and the opportunity we have to break each other's balls and to have fun, but get serious too. I mean, how many conversations have we had just in 2 days where it went from ball breaking to like serious?
Yes.
And like there's trust, right? So what does camaraderie mean to me? Just being around other men, specifically other men that I know that have gone through the same type of experiences that I have, and I can be myself.
I love that. How about you, Mike?
That's a hard one to follow, right? Well, for myself, I'd have to say somebody or a group of men that I'd like to go to war with. You know, and I think that comes through, you know, building trust, building relationships with like-minded individuals, and just coming to the ranch. And obviously, I'm the only English guy here, right? And I've not met many other men here apart from yourself, Doug. So to build relationships and build the trust with these other men, it hasn't been hard in this environment because we're around a group of men who have like-minded issues, but also like-minded vision that they want to be the best versions of themselves. Like you're saying about filling his cup and being, you know, the best version, and it almost outspills from there, like taking care of ourselves first. It almost levels me up. It definitely levels me up to be here. And I feel like when we can be our true authentic self in a place like this, and we can expose our flaws, we can really get to work on where we need to be, but also find that peace and grace within ourselves, that we are doing the work and we are moving forward.
I love that. I love both your guys' definitions of it. I'm going to add in a little bit of my spice, which would be no man left behind, right? I think that's a solid element that's here amongst this group and all the groups within TPM. I mean, Mike, you're a restaurateur from UK, right? Salisbury. And now there's no more Englishmen here. There's going to be, ironically, as soon as you leave, another guy comes and his family visiting the ranch, Mr. Fleming. I love that guy. But, you know, I did your Alpha Reset 7 years ago, I think we ascertained. And you've been in the movement for a long time. One Brother's Brother Award, where it's an award that all the men within the movement come and vote on a guy that they believe has the best of the best. And you've won that. And sitting to your left, we have Justin, who runs a whole accountancy bookkeeping and financial service, firm, and also won the Brothers Brother Award for very similar reasons. And that's why, you guys didn't know each other coming into this at all. And here we are joking, laughing, giving each other a hard time before we hit record. And that's what it is. And to your point, Justin, guys are giving each other a hard time laughing, and nobody takes it personally because it's just in jest and everybody cares. You can sense that care. And then you can literally turn around and talk about, hey, I got a problem in my business. It's like I'm worried, or my kids, I'm worried about my kids, or I'm worried about my relationship, whatever it is. Guys will go as deep as you're willing to go with them.
Well, and even one of the exercises we did yesterday, and I don't know how much we want to speak on what exactly we did yesterday to kind of kick off our retreat, but just how that experience projected my own insecurities upon me, right?
Yeah.
And what I was able to uncover. And we spoke about it too. And what I shared was, if I go to a party, right, and I don't know anybody, or, if there's a new person there, and what I landed, I judge that person immediately, right? I don't trust that person. I don't know that person. I don't know who they are. And I'm just going to naturally go and be comfortable with somebody else. But I think the whole point, right, when you say camaraderie and what we're discussing, is to also bring that back to the real world, right? Yes, we are in the real world, but we're playing, we're men, we're all, kind of on vacation, and our businesses are on pause. We're doing some work as we're going, but, we are going to go home. All right. And back to the real world. And I'm going to try to say this. I get to now enjoy the experience I had here and bring that back and just remember, one of my intention was just to reinforce, right? To reinforce the tools. But I don't need to go to a party and not trust that person, right? Because at the end, even though they're not in TPM, right, or they don't have a spouse in TPM, I think that's the point. Everyone's got that spirit within them, right? That desire to be better, to be seen, to be heard, to be validated, to be liked. And it's just weird, right? Because here it's so comfortable. It's so easy. It really is so easy.
Yeah.
But out in the real world, it is as easy. What if it were easy, right? It is. It's just I'm choosing to put a different mask on it, I guess, so to say, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I want to set the scene a little bit because I don't want people to take you out of context.
Sure.
And we went horseback riding, so sorry, I got dust in my eyes and my nose. And we were saying, let's just set the scene like a movie scene, and I relate it to it so well.
Yeah.
You go to, let's say, a barbecue or a cocktail party or whatever, a birthday party where you don't know many people. A lot of us will find the person we know and go right to them, or you sit against the wall, right, or at the punch bowl, so to speak, and you watch people and you kind of wait for them to come to you first. And if they don't, you kind of judge them a little bit, right? It's easy to tell those stories. Yeah. And that's what you were talking about, uncovering them. And many of the guys on the couch were having similar experiences of yep, I do that. And part of what we do here as men is we get the optics or the data, right? Unless we look at the things that we're doing consciously, right, with conscious, then we can't change them. No. Now, when we look at them, so you discover this, you're like, you know what? Shoot, that's me. We did an exercise based on trust, and we flipped it around. And I was like, actually, it has nothing to do with the other person. It's you. I was like, oh shit. And that's the kind of things getting insights on yourself, make yourself a better husband, father, business leader, and member of your community.
And anyone listening to this, everyone's the same. We all have those same tendencies, but then the shame comes in, right? Oh, I shouldn't feel this way. I shouldn't think this way. So this is actually a cool conversation because hopefully someone is listening to this, relating to everything we just spoke about, and like, oh, it's okay. I have that feeling.
Yes.
Because we don't talk about that, right? That's not really a safe thing to discuss out in the quote unquote real world.
Yeah, you don't roll up to a guy at a bar store, or roll up someone, at the soccer game, going, "Hey, I really judge people, and I feel nervous at parties."
Yes, I just want to say hi, get to know you a little bit, right? What'd you have for breakfast this morning? Like, do you want to go out and have a selther with me sometime?
Yeah, you seem like a cool guy.
Yeah, it's so weird. Yeah. But I bet you, if you do that enough times,
well, sure.
I guarantee, it's just not that we would ever do that, but I bet you if I were to do that more often, I'd probably get more positive responses than negative.
So yeah, and at TPM though, and we're talking about camaraderie. For a man to come through, we have an application process, and so one of the things that our advisors have to fill out is a thing that we call the beer test. Would I go get a beer with this person? It's not really about drinking or getting the beer. You get the idea, but I want guys to listen to this. Like, is this somebody I want to hang out with? And if an advisor checks no, they recommend something else. Like, hey, this probably isn't a good fit. Because their job is to protect the tribe, if you will, the movement of men. And that's how I know, at least as a coach coming into a community, because I walk into a room. I mean, you've helped me at Alpha Resets. Mike D, one of two guys that's been to 2 Alpha Resets. I keep bringing it up because I tell that story so often at Alpha Resets that, hey, you can't come back.
Oh, he's one of them?
Yeah.
Now I know that. Oh, I knew one. Now I know both. Oh, this is great.
So here's the story with Mike, though. Mike's is unique. The other person that came back did it because he didn't go all in.
Yep.
And we actually had a seat. And so they let him in. Mike's is cool because Mike went through it. That's where we first met 7 years ago, the second Alpha Reset ever. And right here in Oregon, just over the mountain. And then his brother went through TPM, and his older brother, is he 2 years older than you?
That's it. Yeah, that's right.
Went through, and Mike goes, I want to go through the Alpha Reset with him, which I think is harder because you know how the Alpha Reset is. Both of you guys know that it's a very intense experience. Knowing what's coming up, and not a dry eye in the room, man. Just watching 2 brothers who loved each other before coming into it. The bond you guys had is phenomenal. So
I got chills.
Yeah.
I got chills. That's like intense. I'm just thinking about my brothers right now. Holy crap. Like that would be,
yeah. Could you imagine having to go through or assisting while they go through?
I can actually.
Yeah.
It would be beautiful.
Having my brother, Brad, who's now the CEO of the company, go through the event. Because if you want to be a coach, you got to go through the Alpha Reset. Like they want to go, and it's a crucible. Like the coaches have been coaching for 10, 20 years, and at that stage, you're out of teenage. They know they don't know everything, right? The teenager, that's the worst stage to be in, right? I know everything. Whether it be about the restaurant business or accounting or bookkeeping or whatever it might be. As soon as you think you know it all, you're screwed. Yeah. Personal development, same thing.
Yeah.
I've got it all together. But camaraderie, it's that beer test, right? So both of you guys, quote, passed the beer test. And so for me as a coach going into that environment with new guys, I know everybody's going to get along, right? They've kind of been validated, if you will. And everybody's a business person. So that's an easy bridge to cross. What do business people like to talk about?
Business.
Money.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Right. War stories, making money, wins, losses. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and you put some good guys in there together, you have instant camaraderie, if you will. And these are men trying to better themselves. Like, who does that? Who takes time out of their day to become a better human? That's a rare breed. A lot of people think about it, but few people actually work on it.
I feel like as well, for me, when I get around a group of men, I may prejudge. I may think like, oh, wow, these guys are so much further ahead than me. Maybe they are. But if I'm always looking at other people that way and comparison holds the seeds of destruction, right? But as soon as I hear them speak about their issues, it shows me that we've all got something we're working through.
Yeah.
And I connect more with the people who share their vulnerabilities rather than sharing their wins.
Yes.
So I think like when these men, and hats off to them, they go all out, they show their vulnerabilities, that's what gets me closer to them.
Yeah.
And it creates that camaraderie for me.
Yeah.
Massively.
I mean, it's huge, right? What they were talking about in the previous podcast is nobody talks about how much money they make. No one's bragging about it. If it comes up because it's part of the formula to the problem that we're trying to help them solve, right? That's the only time it ever comes up. It never comes up with, hey, have you seen my new Maserati? Those conversations don't come. Now, we do have some guys that are car guys. Those guys will show their cars, but it's not like from a bragging point. It's just like guys showing pictures of their kids. Right?
Yeah.
And I'm so glad you brought that up too, right? Because there is a wide range of, I guess we'll just use net worth as an example in this community, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you got some guys that are maybe just newly minted entrepreneurs, business owners, right? And then you got some pretty established guys, two guys here, right? And even more, some of the guys we were talking about yesterday, that somebody like me, like, I don't think I would ever get a chance to meet somebody like that in the quote unquote real world or in the outside world.
Oh yeah.
But we're all the same. Okay, this man's worth 100 million and I'm worth 100,000. I'm just using that as an example.
Yeah.
But I can sit there and hold space for him just as easily as the opposite. And it doesn't mean he's any better than me as a human being, right? It's just a human being, but we can talk about that. And the beautiful thing is that we were having a conversation at lunch today, and one of the guys was talking about, some pretty impressive numbers in terms of deals that he's made and like things that would intimidate me. In fact, I did. I was intimidated a bit, but it was from humility. Right.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. Like, here we go, breaking bread. Like, this guy's like talking numbers that I could only dream of.
Yeah.
And he's doing this in a weekend in a couple of months, but but it's coming from a place of love and just to share. Like, I just want to tell you what's going on in my life and, how this was a struggle or how I'm proud of this. And I want you guys to be proud of me and I want you guys to learn from me. And it's really cool. Like, honestly, like, I walked away from lunch today feeling like really jacked up. Like, I'm selling my accounting practice. I'm going into real estate. I'm doing this tomorrow. Like, let's go. Let's go.
Well, that's the thing, right? I know from my own personal development and my conversations, like, we have like what's possible for us, what's possible for Doug. And then you hear somebody that's 10 steps ahead. You're like, shatters your belief. Like, wait a minute, I'm playing small.
Yeah.
Okay, I want to play up here. And you guys may know these people. You may not, probably didn't know it, but we've had a couple billionaires come through. You would just never know. Right? They're just a normal guy and no one's talking about their money. I know because I would be a coach that they've approached and had financial conversations with.
Right.
Because it's just a different thing. But last night over dinner, we had a guy, you were involved in this conversation. Mike, you were in a different conversation, but he said, hey, I'm doing an acquisition. What should I know? And how humble is that, right? To come up to a bunch of other businessmen and say, I don't know what I don't know. Do you have any suggestions? And one of the recommendations I gave him, I go, hey, there's another guy in the Brotherhood or another guy in the movement.
Yep.
This guy is the guy you need to call. Do you know him? And you said, hey, I got his contact. Let me put it on your phone. And that level of networking, and that's not why anybody came here, but it's what our value systems are about helping each other and being business guys or guys that want to do more.
Yeah.
It just naturally occurs.
I'd be curious on your thoughts on this too, Mike, but maybe that's not why we came. But for me, it's why I'm staying.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, just 7 years. Like, I didn't even who I was 7 years ago. Forget about it. But like, here you are, right? And you look at the wall and the pictures on the wall. Like, both of our pictures are on the wall. Like, and this is still going on, right? And obviously, I mean, I'm sure people do TAM and they bounce and they never come back. I'm sure there's probably more that do that than not. But there's a lot of guys here that have been around, and 7 years later, this guy's still here.
Yeah.
He's here longer than Michael Brett. That's crazy. That's insane. But like, think about that. Like, that's why I'm coming back, and I still get value. And it's like, okay, yes, there's still coaching involved with my relationship, which is why we all came here. But then there's parenting, and then there's business, and then, like you just said, the networking.
Yeah.
Like the deals that probably have been made, and I know there's been a lot of deals just from, this is a global community. Mm-hmm. Right. Thank you, internet. Thank you, Zoom, and all this other stuff. And like, we were doing horseback riding today. I was just looking. I'm like, this guy's from Iowa. This guy's from North Carolina. This guy's from the UK. I'm from New York. I live in Arizona. And we're all hanging out. Mm-hmm. Camaraderie. Like, this is it, man. This is what it's about.
Yep. And we're just getting started for this event.
Right. We got 2 more days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And imagine where Mike's going to be in 7 years from now.
Yeah.
Right.
It's, last podcast we talked about consistency, and that was kind of the theme of you got to keep showing up, and the camaraderie makes that possible, and guys dip in and dip out at times. They lone wolf. It's usually either they think they got it, right? And like, okay, I got it. I'm good. I can't take anything more. I'm good. I don't need anything. Or shame and guilt.
Yep.
Right. And those two things happen the most. And the thing that's cool, and I mentioned this last one about this group of men that are here, is you guys call each other out on your shit. And it's so, even as a coach, if I walked up there and started saying something, you guys right away be like, you told us you wanted to do X, Y, and Z, right? Are you not sticking to this, Doug? And you guys would hold my feet to the fire, let alone each other. And I think it's that level of respect that you just can't. I've never seen it anywhere else where you can have guys that actually give a shit about you. They care, right? No personal gain for themselves other than seeing somebody else rise, and will call you forward. They'll call you forward in the most direct way, and oftentimes a funny way possible.
Yeah,
have you seen that anywhere else?
Yeah, no, I haven't, to be honest. And I think, it's a bunch of winners that want to see other people win.
Yes.
And I've got people's best interest at heart.
Yeah.
And I think, like, you hit the nail on the head there. Call people out on their bullshit. And I think, real love is tough love. Will give you feedback to your face rather than stab you in the back. Right, tell you how it is. And I think when you got a group of men like this, it's no accident they've got to where they are.
Yeah.
But to continue to level up, there needs to be an element of accountability, and almost iron sharpens iron.
Yeah.
But
Agreed.
it also too, like just in the camaraderie, like the safety that I have calling someone forward on a call here is just I don't see, it's probably a BS story too. Like I want to do that more out in the real world, right? But like knowing on the other side, did that person do the work? Are they going to get triggered? That's a nice guy mentality too, right? And that's something I get to continue to work on. But again, it's just the space that is around where we are that I know that I will call Mike out on, his idea for, healthy hamburgers or whatever it is. And like, no one's going to buy that, Mike. That's a terrible idea, but he's going to receive it in a way. He's not going to be like, oh, F you, Justin. You're like, because you say that to somebody you just meet at the bar, that stranger that I just go in to say hi to because I want to be uncomfortable today, right? Like, he doesn't want to be my friend anymore. That's all right. But again, it's that safety and that confidence that I have within me that is due to the camaraderie that we've built. And again, probably most people that listen to this don't know, like most of us are meeting in person for the first time.
Yep.
Like only 3 guys here. Well, 4, you and Colton too, maybe 5 guys here have I met, and there's 14 guys.
Yeah.
Most of the other, but I've known some of these guys for 3 years already. Yeah. And I've already built a relationship with them and I know them inside and out, but I've never given them an actual hug physically.
Yep.
And it's not like, and it's just the way the world is now too. And holy cow, like what a gift. And that just builds even stronger bonds. Like I already feel tighter with all of them, even though I've known them for so long, so well too. So
just wait.
Oh, I can. Yeah. Well, yes, I can imagine. Day 2.
Day 2. It's always day 2.
It's always day 2, isn't it?
Yeah, and I feel like this place is like such a safe place where you can share.
Yep.
Like there's in almost like the real world, like you can't really have these conversations.
Yeah.
You can't go deep with people, and I feel like when you're in a safe place and you feel like you can actually, share exactly what you're going through, then you can get. As soon as we know where we are, we can know where we're going. And I think getting like advice or just perspective from other people, we're not asking really for advice sometimes. We almost learn through other people's struggles or even how they overcame. And we don't get that anywhere else apart from like getting around people who are in the hunt, doing the work. And maybe they're a couple steps ahead. Maybe they're exactly where we are, or maybe they're even behind. But when you've got a group of men like this who want to see you win, they're not going to want to leave you behind. They don't want to leave you out of the pack. They want to bring you back up. And I think there's that analogy with the wolves, right? And how like there'll be one wolf ahead of the pack and there'll be one wolf behind the pack. And it's just ensuring that the pack is safe.
Yeah.
And ensuring that every member of that wolf pack is going to get to its destination. It doesn't want to leave any wolf behind.
Yeah. Well, it's obvious. I agree with that, Mike. It's so obvious, I think, for all men or people to understand that people ahead of you might have clues, right? Success leaves clues. We hear that. What I think is less obvious for people to think about naturally is the person that's at the same journey of you, but just having different stumbles. And you can learn from that person and work together. And having that accountability and that camaraderie and that bond of working towards the same goal at the same time is huge. Also, helping the guy behind you. That's mastery, right? You think you know something, try teaching it, right? Yeah. And I think that's what when I think of the TPM legends, you guys, that's what I think about. We had Donnie in here who's on post, 1,600 and whatever it is. But how many people is he inspiring with that ripple effect? He might post a post and go, hey, I'm just going to post this today and just see, and not know how many men might have read that or needed to hear that. And it's you guys shining the light for the men behind of saying, hey, this way, this is the way, it's better over here. And both of you guys do that consistently.
Thanks for reminding. I'm actually going to remind him because you just said with Donnie's post, because he does. He posts literally every day, still to this day.
Yep.
And I remember when I first came in, whatever number he was on, but I just remember, and just the consistency of his, his vision, right? He does all 5 territories, right? He lists out his wins, he lists out his losses, Duolingo, 1,400 days in a row or something like that. Yeah. And we talk about holding oneself accountable on a regular basis. And yeah, maybe sometimes someone doesn't see it, but it's that one time. And it's for the new guys coming in too. Yeah. That's the importance, right? Like doing this stuff and showing these guys and doing this first annual retreat. Like, this is what you're part of.
So we have, and that reminds me, Gary. So Gary, of Gary. He's also on the wall. Yeah. To keep himself accountable, he started posting his workouts because he wasn't working out. And that was a challenge that was given to him. And he accepted. I mean, all you guys are extremely coachable, right? And that's a key, at least from my point of view. And he's posting. I go, dude, you know what, man? I've had this excuse. Been working 12-hour days, trying to build the movement. And I saw your post, and I was like, this crap. I skipped my workout today, and I turned my computer off, and I went to the gym. I just wanted to thank you. And Gary goes, wow, I didn't know. I was kind of embarrassed. Didn't know if this was going to help. I'm like, dude, it helped me. And right after I said that, somebody overhearing it walked up and goes, dude, same thing.
Yeah.
Did the same thing. And then all of a sudden, Gary's getting all these messages that himself, keeping himself accountable, again, showing the way, was really inspiring other people, because you don't know who's watching, and everybody's watching.
Everybody's watching.
Yes.
Everybody. And our kids particularly are watching all the time, right?
They're
going to model, everything to us on a regular basis. Right?
Yep.
We talk a lot about kids here, but that's what I'm also teaching my son and my daughter, how to be comfortable with that going forward in your life, and having your own tribe and camaraderie, and just surrounding yourself with people you trust. I mean, my kids are 11 and 9, and they still have.
Hey guys, I just want to share something with you. I'm sure we can both agree that in order to fix something, you need to know what's broken. And not only need to know what's broken, but a step-by-step methodology on how you can fix it. That's the easiest way to do it, right? Otherwise, you're going to be toiling with things. That's why I created a free training, a training that not only shows you how you got to where you are, where your relationship is missing that love, respect, admiration, and even intimacy that it used to have, to how you get it back. How do you retain that where your wife's looking at you the same way she used to look at you when she said, I do? I don't know about you, but for me, when my wife looks at me like I'm her man, that I feel like I can conquer the world. And I want that for you. Simply go over to thepowerfulman.com/scales. That's thepowerfulman.com/scales. And I have a free video training for you. You can just click play and see if this resonates for you. Now back to the podcast.
I mean, we'll have some of those conversations. Obviously, they're not ready to have deep dives into this stuff, but you see the tribes that they're building and the lack of camaraderie they have. And some kids you see, some kids you don't, some kids have it, some kids don't. And it's just that's what they're building. And so much of us get lost.
Yes.
So much of it, so many of us get lost along the way, and then we kind of land here. But then that's that ripple effect that you guys have been talking since you started this, and, keeps going out.
It does. It bellows to your communities, churches, synagogues, temples, wherever people, worship, or, could be the Rotary Club, could be, Vistage. It doesn't matter. People start seeing, and people coming up and noticing the changes that the men are making and going, I want some of that. I'm going to go back to a comment you made, Justin, about calling people out in public, or outside of this group. I think it's both. Can you do it? Yes. And should you do it? Is more the question.
Right.
And from my own experience, and I was at a party, all adults, all parents. You know how parents get together you have kids of the same age, you end up hanging out with those parents. And one of the guys probably had I'll just say it, he had a little more to drink than maybe he would have wanted to. And then he said, because you guys met my wife, and these women work out together. So it's all the husbands of those wives. And the guy's like, man, I wish that we just had a bond like these women do, and getting together. And I go, dude, you know what? You never return a text. All of us other guys have texted you, invited you to things. We go do things. You just never return a text. So maybe if you showed up, that could be a good start. And it was like a record scratch. You guys both know I can be a little firm at times, but I was fed up.
Yeah.
And I said it. And I thought, oh crap, wrong environment. Everybody's celebrating. He came up to me 20 minutes later and goes, thank you for being honest with me.
Damn right.
Wow.
Thank you.
Damn right.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. I mean, you've done this a long time, right? And you're still always, but now that's it. We talked about subconscious commitments, right? Unconscious commitments. Now it's embedded. Your unconscious took over at that point.
Oh, 100%.
100%. And right, you spoke even before you probably thought.
Yeah.
But and I'm sure you delivered it with love and kindness, as you always do. But, again, that is the tricky. You don't want to just go out and start telling people what they can and can't do, right? My sponsor, because I'm in AA, my sponsor taught me very early on in my sobriety, does it have to be said? Does it have to be said by me? And does it have to be said right now? And it kind of ties into that, right? So usually I'll go through, and if it's yes, yes, and yes, I'll say something. But usually along the line, does it have to be said right now? Sometimes it's no. But like if my belly barometer is going off and yours went off probably before you even realized it, and then he said, thank you.
Yeah.
You just changed his life.
Yeah. Well, I saw a guy in pain.
Yeah.
He's complaining about something and it looks so obvious to me. Like, dude, you know, you got to show up. You know, you can't be the guy sitting at home waiting for the phone to ring every single time and not answering it. It's like being the guy at the party standing next to the wall, refusing to talk to people, judging people. And the vibes you get off. I mean, I've done it. We've all done it. Yeah. The vibes we get off when we're sitting at the wall of the party just looking at people, judging them. Like, who wants to talk to that guy, right? And those other people are scared too.
Yeah.
You know, they're nervous. And so versus that one person that comes up and just says hi to you, you're like, thank God, you know, and have a good conversation.
Sorry if that's me, if anyone who's watching this and I was at a party and you saw me sitting in the corner judging you. That might have been me. Sorry.
I think it sounds like that guy had an aha moment, like from hearing that and coming back. You probably had to process it, but like knowing you, Doug, like what Justin said, you delivered it with love. It came from a place of, you know, frustration because he's not getting it, but delivering it with love, he's probably had to process it and came back and thanked you, which is huge. A lot of the time we can't see the blind. We can't see the blind spots. They're just hidden.
Yeah.
And I think like again, being coached, they can actually give you perspective of what we can see and we can work on these blind spots. It sounds like you're coaching people like on a day-to-day basis, and a lot of people aren't always ready to hear it.
Yeah.
But sometimes it needs to be said, and I think it comes down to how you deliver that as well. And we know that you're going to deliver it with love and from a good place rather than just, you know, a place where you just want to have a go at people and put people down. It's always from a place that you want to rebuild and encourage and build people up.
Yeah. I mean, that's not a natural thing for my family. It takes a lot of work.
Oh, yeah.
Just to let people know that are listening to this. It's not like all of a sudden when I was a teenager, I was always lifting people up. I grew up in a house with other boys. My dad, extremely sarcastic. Like the more sarcastic you could be, the better. Like that was like my brothers are older than me. They're bigger. So I had to mentally chop them down. So I got really good at it. And then as I got older, I realized, wait a minute, this isn't getting me what I want. You know, I'm doing this at other people's expenses. And that's not the legacy I want to leave. When we talk about, again, bringing it back to camaraderie, I think you touched on it, Mike. You have to, when you get to the place where you genuinely care about other people, it makes it much more easier to have that bond and that camaraderie, you know, and coming through. I mean, Justin saying, hey, I've been talking to some of these guys for 3 years. And now meeting them in person. You haven't talked to any of these guys besides me previous, right? Have you? Jared, maybe just back and forth for this event.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. And so that camaraderie that you get to be embraced with and feel as we go through these next few days, I'm excited for you.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Me too. And I mean, I traveled across the pond.
Yeah.
You know, there's been like obstacles which have come up.
Sure.
But as soon as I made the decision to come, like it almost, the waters like spread way and made it almost like it made its own path. Like it's going to happen.
Yep.
And to be fair, before coming to this, there was a bit of what is it? It was almost like the shadow man showing up.
Yeah.
Am I really deserving to be there? Am I really a legend? Like these thoughts were coming up, and I had to just tell her to shut up. It's not where I want to operate from.
Yeah.
You know, and getting out here, just a massive peace of mind to be around. To be fair, like you said, I only know you and partly Jared.
Yeah.
So there's a fear of, are these people really going to accept me into their group? Like, but as soon as I step through the door, the fears just drop away.
Yeah.
And it's just all BS. It's a truth it's a lie that I'm holding on to stop me from moving forward.
Yeah.
And as soon as I expose that, and rather than making assumptions, like seeking first to understand, this place is like it's just full of love. It's full of support. Yeah, like we've got the trash talking going on, but it's trash talk from a place of love, right? Yeah. And it helps me like build myself and build others around me, it's just a beautiful experience.
Now these guys are trying to steal your notes.
Oh, that happened yesterday. Yeah, that's right.
Mike, you've always been an amazing note taker. I remember that about you. That you digest things like nobody's business. That was funny. Like, we got to copy your notes.
I think Austin said that. Yeah. But I think the point too, real quick, is like, you know, I don't need it. I mean, it reinforces it, but I don't need the ranch to do that every day. And I think as people are watching this, right? I mean, I think what I would want somebody to get out of this whole conversation is that we're all the same. We all have the same feelings. We all have the same thoughts. We all have the same stick man. We all have the same guilt, fear, and shame. And it's all fear-based decisions, right? And nobody really knows what's going on inside of somebody. Like nobody really knows. And just I've been here 3 years, and the work that I've done, like I have been able to help other people in my life. They'll never be in TPM, right? Either they're not a business owner, or maybe they can't afford it, and that's part of it. I mean, but I can now give back to the world. I have one of my buddies, like he would never join the program, but he does ARS every morning. Like he does an ARS every morning.
Yeah.
He actually asked me, I just pay you to be my coach? I'm like, no, I'll just be your friend. And, we'll check in, not all the time, but
Sure.
He's doing better. He lost weight, and it's simple. Just ARS.
Yeah.
In the morning. That's it.
Alpha Rise and Shine.
That's it. You know? And I can bring that to every situation I go to. And you know what? I give myself grace when that judgy guy kind of comes back up and just recognize that I'm a human being, and that's okay.
He'll always come up. He's never going to go away. Yeah. As soon as you realize that and you can laugh with him, he comes up less. That's the key. I think most people, I hear this so many times, I want to kill that version of me. Like, no, that version of you protected you. Like, there's a reason that version, sarcastic Doug. Like, I'm still sarcastic, but more in of a joking way. Yeah, it's shocking. I know. It surprises people when they hear this.
Yeah, very surprised.
But not like you are.
Touche.
But, that version of me protected me from my bigger brothers as a little kid. And so when you thank that version of yourself and show appreciation, it has less, and there's whole parts of psychology around this, there's less resistance for it sitting on the sidelines, right? It's okay. It's like, oh, okay, he's got it. I don't need to show up the way I used to show up. And so it's not about killing that part of you. It's about respecting that part of you that's always going to be inside of you that built you up, and then really caring for it, and then going, hey, I got this. You don't need to be this way anymore. So if you're judging or sarcastic or feeling insecure, that's great. Cool. And for me, it's laughter. I love laughing at myself. I don't really feel bad like I'm beating myself up. I just literally laugh, go, dude, stop being a moron. Like just have fun. You know better. And then it goes away. It's like instantly for me.
Yeah, it ties into like the more you resist, it will persist.
Yes.
In a way, like you just gotta just let it come and then let it go.
Yeah.
Because it's going to show up. Just allow it to show up, and then just get back into your power, right?
Yes. Yeah.
And
consistently.
Definitely. And like I said before coming here, that was showing up for me.
Yeah.
That was showing up, and I had to just allow it to show up and allow it to move out the way as well, and let the one that I want to operate from step forward. And I'm so happy, like, because on another day, it wouldn't have been that easy. I like push myself into uncomfortable situations.
Yeah.
Like if this was down the road from where I live, I would still come, but it wouldn't be as meaningful as to come on a flight, an exchange flight over here, drive 3 hours across Portland as well. Like that makes it so much more. 1 a.m. sleep in the car.
Yeah.
But it makes the experience that much better.
Yeah, I think it does. I think you're right. And that's a good shout for the guys in the States going to the UK.
Yeah.
Right? Because we get resistance. The US is a huge country, obviously. And a lot of guys don't travel internationally. And so we do the Alpha Reset for guys that are listening to this, which is our transformational 4-day program. Both of you guys have been through that. And we get resistance from some guys in the States of going to the UK to do that event versus like, well, I can just go to Oregon and do it at the TPM Ranch, which is still good in my opinion. I'm biased about it, but I love to see them when the guys that go to the UK to do it always comment about how far they are removed from their day to day and how that adds an extra element of dedication and richness to their experience.
Absolutely. It makes a lot of sense. It's almost like the inconvenience makes the experience that much better.
Yeah. Well, I was excited to see your name on the list.
Oh, man.
The effort. It's the effort that I put into it too, right?
Yeah.
I mean, if something just comes easily to me, I'm not going to enjoy it as much. I'm not going to appreciate it much. But the amount of effort, I mean, you telling me your travel story, that was intense. Yeah. I mean, he left 2 weeks ago and he just got here Saturday. Like, that's how long it took, right? And that's like crazy.
It's a slow boat.
Right. It's really slow boat. But the amount of effort that one has to put in to be able to enjoy that experience.
Yep.
just means I'm going to appreciate it and get so much more out of it because of that effort. Now, right, guys that are going to go to the UK, and yes, I understand the resistance, but the timing is the timing. The calling is the calling, right? If it works out and it's in the UK, don't say no just because it's in the UK. You're only doing yourself a disservice because that's your calling. That's the extra effort that you need to, like you said, to be distance away, to kind of like, maybe I just need to be that far away from home and just recognize like, wow, the effort I put in to get here, to do this. Like,
what's the number one thing you've been through 2 alpha resets, you've been through 1 and helped support at 1.
Yeah.
What's the number one thing the guys say at the end of an alpha reset? I wish I would have done this sooner.
Oh yeah.
I wish I would have done this sooner.
Yeah.
So if it's the UK one, go. If it's the US one, go. Whatever it is, just go. I always tell guys, like, my life's not going to change if you go to an alpha reset. I don't change the way I eat. All of a sudden, my family is not buying a new car. My life does not change. Your life will, right? And that, get your butt there regardless of where it is, and do it immediately.
Right. But not just my life, everyone around me. Again, the gentleman I was just talking, I just brought somebody into the program too, right? I mean, he just signed up on Friday.
Yeah.
I didn't even like share. I didn't even sell it or nothing. Like, we were in a conversation. I just sent the podcast to him, just one I remember that was like kind of hitting home, and I just left it. And then he just started asking more questions, and he asked me if I'm part of it, and I just left it. And like, then he had a call with Brandon, he had a call with Tyler, and he didn't realize that like they all know me. Yeah. He's like, dude, I just like, these guys all know you. I'm like,
kind of a big deal.
Like, yeah, Brian, like, you're a legend, right? Like, he doesn't know about the wall or anything either, so he's gonna find out about that.
Yeah.
But I didn't tell him. I mean, nothing at all. And it just, what's meant to be will be, right? I know it's so cliche, but I mean, I work very hard at not forcing things. And even when I'm like on master classes and office out, I want to run through a wall and do something immediately. But it's so important to just let it simmer, let it happen naturally as it's supposed to. It's the same thing with building relationships. Yeah. It's the same thing when I'm back out in the real world and I have other opportunities. Sometimes I'll say something, other times I won't. It depends on what the universe has in store and what my spirit's going to be feeling in that particular moment. And having confidence to know that I trust myself enough, and that's not possible without being sober, without being reset, without being through this for several years. Yeah. It's not possible.
I love it. Let's end with giving a guy listening to this, it's resonating with you guys when we're talking about, what's one piece of advice you'd want to give to him about camaraderie?
I'm letting you take it so you don't feel like you have to follow me again.
Yeah. Okay. What's one bit of advice about camaraderie? I would say it would come around the vulnerability part. I would say that we typically connect on our flaws, not our perfections. I don't think any human being will ever be perfect. We may try and come across like we're perfect and hold ourselves to the perfect ideal, but we're never going to connect like that. And I really feel like, because you coaches as well, you show vulnerability, so you lead with example rather than, a textbook or theory book way. And when you lead with example, we follow, and we follow with giving our vulnerabilities. And I really feel like we can connect on them imperfections, and that brings us closer. Like just hearing about other people's struggles and wins.
Yeah.
It shows like we're all human. At the same time, we all are working towards a better version of ourselves, and like just hearing people's like perspective around things helps me level up massively and closer. Just bring myself closer to people as well.
100%. I love it.
That was more than one thing. Are we going to edit that out? Yeah, call and edit that. So like as you were talking, I was thinking of a few things, and really for me, yes, of course, vulnerability, right? Trust, honesty. When I need help, I ask for it. And if I feel like someone might need help, offer it. If somebody's watching this that may never click, right? You can't afford it. And listen, I get it. Work is not inexpensive. It takes a lot of effort to put this all together, right? And of course, and we're business owners. So, I certainly understand, but hopefully people are able to get free content just through the podcast to walk away. I imagine you're somebody that is struggling, that maybe doesn't have camaraderie. Maybe you don't have true, authentic relationships. Find somebody. I guarantee you there's somebody in your tribe that you can just ask for help. And you know what? Maybe you don't really need help or you don't realize it. Maybe you see somebody that needs help, offer help. build a relationship with somebody that is built on truth, trust, transparency, authenticity, and no BS, right? Especially like drinking buddies. Listen, I've had plenty of drinking buddies in my life. In all fairness, it was all built on alcohol. Like it wasn't real. The more real I am, the better of a relationship I am. And if I see somebody that's like I was just sharing about my buddy and, hey, you need anything? What can I do? How can I provide value to your life? What's going on with you? And that's camaraderie, and that just kind of opens up the door, and those that are meant to be in your life will be. And you might get the door closed on you more often than you expect, and that's also okay. So, but the right people will be around when they're supposed to be.
Absolutely, and that was more than one too. I call.
Oh yeah.
Well, I figured that was the door that was open. No, that's what I figured. He set the tone.
But great, dude. Great examples. I'm going to throw another one out there to piggyback on both of you guys. Is look, we're a movement, and I chose to do this work and leave the other work that I was doing because of that. And that's why we have over 1,000 podcast episodes. We have a free community that's out there. You can go meet other guys if you don't feel comfortable talking about what's going on, or maybe you don't think you do have, because I do think a lot of people don't have people that are willing to play this game, bettering themselves. They want to go, Tuesday we do Taco Tuesday, Wednesday it's like Groundhog's Day, and so many people I see that are living their lives like Groundhog's Day. We got to catch the next episode of, what's that island show everybody's watching right now?
Love Island.
And I got to be there when it comes out, and that's cool. That's cool for them. The people that we attract here at TPM are not those people. They're not. Do they watch Love Island? Yeah, they do, because I hear some of the guys.
Yeah, they're just talking about it.
Yeah, see? But it's that they want better for themselves. Yeah. And if you're looking for that, can't find it in your community, that's how I met Tim. Right? Yeah. Tim couldn't find it in his community. And that's how we connected over 8 years ago at this point. Is you can have that online, right? You met the guys you were talking about 3 years ago. If you want to push it, depending on what echelon you want to play at, or you're able to play at this time, but do something. Be vulnerable, share, reach a hand out to somebody else, and take the risk. The communities are out there. And if TPM isn't the community for you, then find another one, right?
There's so many.
There are so many.
And there's ones that are smaller and way more affordable too. I mean, obviously not in as rich and in depth, but I had 2 before I came here.
Yeah.
2 different programs that I did before I landed here. I mean, this one is my favorite, of course, but I don't think I would be, as successful in my own journey, which is still ongoing, had I not had those first 2 in the beginning.
Yeah.
And they're all good. Like, they're all good. Just do it.
You just got to do something.
Yeah.
You got to get off your ass and do something at the end of the day. Well, you guys are legends, and guys, it's only day 1 for this event. I'm so excited for day 2, of course. And you guys don't know what's going on day 3. I'm excited for that as well.
No, we don't.
Yeah, it's just going to be a blast.
Can I just say that I've had hardly any sleep, but I'm the most energetic, and I'm buzzing for this whole experience.
Yeah.
It's great to be here.
It is awesome. It's awesome.
And I wanted to say thank you, Doug, as well, for doing what you're doing. You and Tim and Arthur and the coaches. I think you guys are doing a great job. Just keep doing it. You're making huge impact.
Thanks, brother. Appreciate that.
And Colton.
Absolutely. Justin and everybody else on the team that's coming through. There's 36, I think, now.
Wow.
People in the movement making this work.
Yeah.
So all of them play a role.
Yeah.
Well, I just get to go have fun with you guys. Gentlemen, that's a wrap for this episode. And as I always say, in the moment of insight, take massive action. I know I say that a lot, but think about that. If you've had an insight here, right? We're talking about your community, or we're talking about other men around you. What does that mean to have that camaraderie? If you don't have that now and you want it, go do something. The 3 of us just gave you action steps that you can take right now. Some cost money, some all cost time, some are free, right? There's things that you can do to build that community. But you can't be like Justin and myself and stand on the wall hoping someone's going to bring the community to you. You get to actively go out there and find it, and find the community that resonates with you. And if what we're talking about and these 2 guys resonate with you, then I invite you to check out TPM. We just opened our doors to another program. It's adjacent to non-business owners, right? To employees. So if that's something you're interested in, just inquire. We call it TPM Navigate. That is now open and available to people. So you can come through. We have, I think, about 60 guys or so in that program right now. And they're men like you. We open the doors because our mission is to help men. Right? We want to help guys like you. We want to save the children by helping their fathers first. And so that door is now open. But whatever you do, take some massive action. And we'll see you next time on the TPM Show.